In a very strongly uptrending market, GBPJPY has formed a candle that has a very long wick at the top. Is this week the market is going to fill that long wick, or it's a strong liquidity grab and the market is dropping down to the support? Looking at dollar yen, we can see the market showing a bit more stronger momentum than the GBPJPY. Is the next candle is forming above? Or if we look at the gold chart, we see there is a very strong shooting star in this uptrending market. Some might argue that this is a very strong liquidity grab with a very long rejection, and next week the price might be dropping down to fill some of the imbalance here. So these are very important questions that you need to ask and we need to answer to find out which way the market is going to bias this week. So this weekly Forex forecast, we will be focusing on those important questions along with DXY, Euro dollar, and all the instruments that you guys and girls can see on the chart. So keeping those questions on the table, let's do a complete multi-time frame analysis of all those pairs for this week to see how the market might behave. As this is the last week of the month, we could see a very dramatic movement in the market. So before I begin this weekly Forex forecast to see all those instruments, including the DXY traders, make sure that you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. So without further delay, let's begin this week's weekly Forex forecast. I will be starting with, first of all, DXY to see overall picture in the market just after a very short intro. Okay, so before we begin weekly Forex forecast, let's quickly look at the news calendars to see how the market might be evolving now. Looking at only the high impact news, we can see that Monday there is nothing, and Tuesday also there is nothing. Coming from the Tuesday New York session, we can see the market might start to move with this CV consumer confidence, followed by next day coming on AUD CPI. And what I think that the market finally could break out from any kind of consolidation, starting with this one very high impact news. FOMC member Waller speaks, and I think that that speech might give a bit more momentum, and with that speech the market might grab liquidity and create some false breakout and breakdown. And then with CAD and USD news, we might see that the market started to trend. So that could be, which is the Wednesday in New York session, and then Thursday and Friday. Now these 3 days we could see significant movement in the market, followed by Powell speaks on Friday. That could be a big market mover. So we will be looking at those events very importantly to see best trade possible in the market. And also we'll keep eye early how the market is consolidating, because even there is no event on Monday and Tuesday, but still when we see the market is consolidating, and from that place where the market is especially gathering the liquidity, we will have an idea about the future movement during this news event. So based on that, let's do a complete multi-time frame analysis starting with DXY. Okay, trader, so let's begin. First of all, DXY. I will be first looking at the highest time frame to see overall picture in the market. Now, if we look at the monthly chart on DXY, we can see that after this huge drop, back-to-back 3 months, DXY showing potentially bullish price action. So this is the monthly candle, which is almost at the end of the month, and what we can see, the price has broken this previous monthly narrower candle, and then we have seen that immediate rejection, which is a signal of potential further bias to the upside on DXY, but at the same time, as you can see, this is the last week of the month and the price is almost hitting a new high for this month. And what I think that before the monthly close, we might see the price could try to retest this monthly support again. Now dropping down to the weekly chart, we can see there is a weekly bullish candle. This red drop on the weekly after this big move and then drop pullback, which might be a stronger liquidity grab from this important liquidity zone. As you can see, this weekly drop with this long red candle, the price dropped down to this doji where there is a high liquidity, and from that zone the price has got a bounce to the upside. Currently, one thing that we need to look at is this is the weekly drop. The price has broken that high, and what we might try to see, the price might form an inverted head and shoulder here before bouncing to the upside. So this week, if we look at the daily chart, we can see that there was a daily bullish engulfer. Now that red candle is, we can consider it as a stronger pullback. So we saw that there was a double bottom and the price has broken to the upside. With this red candle, the price retested this neckline. So if we draw this previous order block here, we can see that this resistance turns support here and the price has formed a bullish engulfer followed by a complete breakout from this structure. So with that breakout, if we draw this resistance line here on the daily chart on DXY, what we can see that the market completely separated from this level. This is the resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, and also resistance here, which is turning support here on DXY. So what I think that this week might try to retest this support, but at the same time we need to keep in mind that this is a very strong bullish trend and the candle has closed on the daily as a bullish, so the bias could remain still bullish. But for a healthy trending market, we need to see that the market has dropped again to merge with this level. So if I draw this a very narrow channel, if we're dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see that the price is going in this channel. Let's draw this channel here, and with this channel formation, what we can see, DXY currently trending aggressively to the upside. So to drop down again to this support level, so as you can see, the market is in this channel. And what I think that because it's a very currently a bull market, so we might see with the market open an attempt from the buyers to break this channel. So if you look at, it's a very narrow channel, and from that channel we have seen an initial breakdown, which was in fact a pure liquidity grab, and tested this resistance here as a support, which is a very stronger order block, and which is a signal that DXY might be preparing for a bigger move to the upside. Now if I draw this intraday resistance level, you can see there is a very long weak candle here, and this is the starting of this big move to this order block. So as the market is bouncing back to the upside, what I think that with the market open, we might see the price might try to retest that level, either creating a higher low or lower high in that zone. We could see that DXY might be dropping down to retest any of this level. That could be the wave on DXY. Now based on the price action confirmation, we can look for entry opportunity based on how the market moving, but I think that DXY might follow this pattern, and based on that pattern we could see euro dollar, AUD USD and all the USD pairs might move in the upcoming week, including gold. So let me look at now one by one. Based on that, I'm expecting DXY to go up, come down, and then to trend in that direction. Okay traders, so now let's begin with euro dollar. As we can see the DXY, based on euro dollar, we just could see an E mirror of DXY. So I'll first begin with the monthly to see the highest time frame, to see how the market is evolving. Now, looking at the monthly chart on euro dollar, what we can see from the monthly, this is the monthly impulse on euro dollar, and we have seen a deeper pullback on the monthly. And looking at Fibonacci perspective from the monthly, we can see that the price has come to exactly 61.8% Fibonacci level, and we have seen there was a rejection from this level. Previous months we have seen a narrower doji. Now this monthly candle so far, where it has started, just it moved to the upside, has come back down to this monthly support level again. And at the same time, if we look at, it has tested the upper wick of the previous monthly candle, formed an overextension to the upside, has rejected. Now what we could see, the market might try to retest the lower wick of this monthly candle, as the market already has broken the high, so it created an imbalance in that direction where the market still didn't test this lower wick of this monthly candle. And what I think that we might see a retest of the another 50% of this monthly candle, which we might see the price to retest. Now if I jump onto the weekly chart, we can see that from the weekly, this is the weekly move on euro dollar, green move back to back 3 weeks, followed by previous week, and this week we saw the market has a sharp rejection, and with that rejection the price most likely to retest this initially this support, as this is where the market started its move to the upside. And at this point, as the price has broken that support level, and we might see now a retest of this and potentially a retest of the monthly 50%. As this is an imbalance in the market, we could see the price will try to retest before moving up. So from the weekly also we could see a potential rejection on euro dollar. Now looking at the daily chart, where we can see that there is a bearish engulfer followed by last day of trading week also a red candle. Now at the same time, what we can see here, this is the green candle. The price had a bounce from this level. The market is breaking down from this support, and what I think that euro dollar now could try to retest this level here, and without a retest we may not see a drop, but at the same time we see the market is in a very strong downtrend. Now what we could see with the market open, for the price to break this support first and then to retest, and that could be the wave for this week before the monthly close. It might go back up to close as a monthly bullish candle, or we might see a complete drop in that direction. So this could be the situation on euro dollar, and as there is a FOMC and quite a few important news coming, so in the first 2 days you can see there is no high impact news. And what I think that the market might initially to pull back during that slow period to retest this support as a resistance, and with the news coming on, starting with the New York session on Tuesday, we could see the market will try to revisit that level. So if we look at the intraday time frame, here is what we can see. The market, you can see there is a drop here. This breakout on euro dollar is a complete breakout to the upside, and what we can see currently, the price is retesting this previous support, turning resistance, and that might be an important level where we can look for potential entry opportunity. So this could be the wave on euro dollar. Initial break of the support might give a potential entry to the upside, but the trend is very strongly downtrend, so always we'll look for any kind of potential selling opportunity after a price action confirmation. Now let's look at AUDUSD. Now looking at AUDUSD, we might see just a mirror of a DXY like euro dollar. AUDUSD, we can see that from the weekly perspective and also from the monthly, AUDUSD also the price on the monthly support level on AUDUSD, and the market has made significant bounce. It's coming back down to this monthly support, And what I think that initially we might see the price might try to break this monthly low, because it has very strong rejection from the top. We might see the price will try to break this monthly low before bouncing up on AUDUSD. Now looking at the weekly chart on AUDUSD, we can see that from the weekly, here is the support level on the weekly, and back-to-back 2 weeks of drop, and any kind of initial drop to this level can give a potential bounce on AUDUSD. Now looking at the daily chart, we can see that from the daily, this is the liquidity zone. From this zone we have seen a very strong bounce on AUDUSD. The price, we can see it's now trying to retest this support level here. We'll be expecting for AUDUSD to break that low and then to return back to the upside. Now if we look at the intraday time frame, here is you can see it was moving in this downtrending channel, and there is a breakout. Now if you look at this move on AUDUSD on the 4 hour, it's a complete vertical move, straight drop, which is a very strong liquidity grab. Now what I think that if the price might, with that liquidity grab, it might try to break this support level here. This is a very important level of support, but at the same time we can see that the market was respecting this long-term support level. So any deviation from this support, which will be an overextension, can give AUDUSD another momentum to the upside, and that could be the wave on AUDUSD this week. Now let's see the GBPUSD. Now if we look at the daily chart and also the weekly chart on GBPUSD, this market also, after this big move to the upside, has dropped back down to this support level. Looking at the monthly chart, what we can see from the monthly on GBPUSD, the price, there was a bounce, and then from the monthly a pullback, and there was a big move to the upside on GBPUSD. We have seen that the price already this month after retest has dropped a lot, and what I think that on GBPUSD the price might try to retest this support and then to remain bullish again. It might break that low, and then we could see that GBPUSD going back up, either retesting this low, or without breaking that low we might see again bouncing to the upside. If I look at the weekly chart on GBPUSD, we can see that there is a huge vertical move and back-to-back 2 weeks of drop on GBPUSD, coming to this very important support level here on GBPUSD. And I think that this week we might see another pullback to the upside and then dropping down to retest this support and then bouncing back to the upside. So if we look at the daily chart on GBPUSD, where we can see that from the daily the price is respecting this support level. So if I draw this support here on GBPUSD, what we can see in that zone is that for the price, this is the support level. And if we look at the past here from the daily, the very important level of support, whenever the price is dropping down to that support, the market is bouncing. And what we could see now, what I think that GBPUSD this week, if the price is going up without breaking that low, we might see a drop from that. Otherwise, if we see the price is broken initially to the downside, in that case we might see that the price is going back up to retest this level. If the market is leaving an imbalance here on GBPUSD, that's where if we see without retesting this level, breaking that in that direction, that's where we could see GBPUSD might go back to the upside. So this is where the price might, if the price is breaking that low without retest, we could see GBPUSD is rejecting from that level. Now let's look at $CAD to see what kind of price action it is forming. Now looking at the monthly chart on $CAD, from the monthly so far in the first 3 weeks, we saw that after this drop to this monthly support, $CAD has got a very strong rejection. At this point, it's almost last week of the month. What I think that $CAD might come back down for a deeper pullback here. So if we look at the weekly chart, we can see that from the weekly, this is the weekly candle. So far, after breaking the previous weekly low, it formed a very sharp liquidity candle. Now, bigger picture, if we look at the market was gathering liquidity from many times, breaking all this low, getting a rejection, means that long-term picture on dollar CAD could remain bullish. But at the same time, where we can see the price is approaching that resistance level where there was a big drop, and as this is a significant level of resistance, I think the dollar CAD might, if the price breaking that high, we could see it might have got a rejection from this level. If we look at the daily chart, where we can see that from the daily, this is where the daily move, a bullish candle followed by another bullish engulfer, and this resistance level in the past there is a big move happen and the market is approaching that resistance, getting a rejection. So we saw that here, we have seen multiple times dollar CAD has grabbed that liquidity. Now what we could see, if dollar CAD without breaking that high dropping down, we might see another bounce. On the other hand, if dollar CAD is not coming down for a retest, as the market left an imbalance here, if we look at the lower time frame, we can see there is a move, a very narrow correction, another move, narrow correction, another move. So with that multiple bounce on dollar CAD, if the price breaking out without retest of this or feeling that imbalance, we could see after breaking that high dropping down again to retest this level. On the other side, if we see that dollar CAD has dropped down again before breaking that high, in that case we might see the market is bouncing from this level, as we are expecting in the beginning for the price to retest this level, and then we might see dollar CAD is dropping down to this level. So that could be the zone this week. We might see the price is forming that pattern. So now let's look at gold, and then also we'll be looking at yen pairs. So gold, as you have seen guys and girls, last week was very volatile, and with that volatility we have seen that gold is currently in a strong pullback. So let's see that from the weekly chart what kind of price action has formed. Now looking at the weekly chart on gold, we can see that there is a shooting star has formed from the weekly, and this is a weekly impulsive move followed by a very narrow red candle. There is a long wick at the top here from the weekly on gold. Now if I look at the monthly chart, what we can see that from the monthly, this is a bullish candle on the monthly, and there is a long wick at the top. So overall market structure on gold, which is basically a very sharply bull market. If you look at here, and from the monthly, what we can spot an inverted head and shoulder. So bigger picture perspective, gold might remain bullish, but at the same time it's last week of the month, and what I think that this week we might see initial pullback further. And if I draw this monthly resistance here, which is a very important level that we have seen 21.4850 level. In the past the price tested and then has got a big drop here, which is a huge supply area, and that supply area now turning to a demand area. And what I think that this week we might see, if the price managed to break that low to this support level, we might see again bullish pattern in that zone. Now looking at the weekly chart, we have seen a very powerful shooting star on that previous resistance turning support, but at the same time we see the market has formed a very long wick candle. Now this long wick candle can be considered as a liquidity grab and then to drop, or we could see that it's a shooting star that could be a bullish pattern and filling that long wick. So which one is likely to happen, as we need to give the highest value to the trend? And what I think that now on gold, we might see for the price to retest and then to reject. Now if I readjust this level from the weekly, this is the weekly low here, and this is where the previous resistance turning support form a should hanging man, and with that hanging man formation, any drop to that support level can give a potential entry for a weak fill at the top. Now if I look at the daily chart, where we can see there's a daily long wick candle followed by last day of trading week a red candle that has also long wick at the bottom. And this is now very important to look at either the price is retesting this support, and what I think that the bias might still be to the downside a little bit, but at the same time we need to understand that this is an order block, a very high liquidity zone, so the price still could remain bullish. So you have to be very careful when we are opening a position based on that. Now from the intraday, to see where the market might be heading, now there is a very important clue to look at, is that there is an imbalance here. There's a big fair value gap, and that fair value gap, if you look at, it's a very important point to look at, as if we see that the market didn't retest this but instead bounced back up to that fair value gap, we might see that the price again dropping down to fill that imbalance. But as if we draw this triangular pattern in that area to see how gold is evolving, this is where the most important part to look at. If we see that gold has broken down again with the market open, then in that case we might see retest and then going back up to fill that imbalance, as the market still did not test this level. So this is the significant level of support on gold that we could look for entry. And what I think, if the market didn't go back up, then we might see a retest and then rejection to the upside. This could be the wave on gold based on the current time price action. We will be entering any position, guys and girls. In the meantime, if you want to trade all of them with us and also join us to be part of trading community, as you have seen in the past week, we had a huge giveaway coupon. As you have seen in the past week, we had a huge discount going on, 70% off. That coupon is, today is the last day to use it. You can use it on the website lifetime access checkout, where you can be part of us to learn and grow as a trader. And also you can learn the strategy that I am trading in Forex Trading Wizard Academy. So now let's see what kind of opportunity we have in yen pairs. I will be starting with dollar yen. Now among all those pairs, we can see the dollar yen looks impressive, very strong trending market. So starting with the monthly chart on dollar yen, we can see that from the monthly perspective on dollar yen, this is the monthly impulse followed by a monthly narrower candle. Now this month we have seen so far from this support has made a big move to the upside. Now at this point, the price already has formed a monthly candle, and what I think that as last week of the month, we might see that the price could remain bullish. If we look at the weekly chart, we can see that there is a weekly also bullish candle. This is the weekly bullish candle followed by this weekly candle. So far there is a very narrow wick at the top, and it's a full body green, and that's a potential for bullish pattern. As if we look at this weekly move, this is the weekly move, and we have seen a significant pullback. So that can give dollar yen further momentum to break this high and to create a new higher high. So looking at the daily chart on dollar yen, we can see that from the daily, this is the daily price action, this is the daily impulse here, followed by last day of trading week. We have seen a liquidity candle followed by a very weaker response from the buyers. Now what I think that, as this is the daily chart and this is the support level, the price might even try to respect this support to create a new momentum. Now looking at the intraday perspective here, this is a intraday resistance level, and the price is, there is a liquidity gap here and then has got a bounce, followed by it's a very significant level of support here, and with that support, expecting dollar yen to break and then to bounce back to the upside. So this is where I will be waiting on dollar yen for the price to break and then to continue to the upside, and any retest of this support. Or if we look at the daily chart again, this is the daily doji maintaining series of higher low, expecting for dollar yen to retest and then to bounce back to the upside. From the daily perspective, if we see the dollar yen has tested this low or even has formed a higher low, especially I will be waiting for a deep liquidity grab on the lower time frame to go long on dollar yen, and the price might respect this support level, and that could be a very important zone on dollar yen for this potential move to the upside. And as soon as you will find suitable entry, you look for going long with a high probability trade setup. Now looking at EURUSD and GBPJPY, now looking at the daily chart on GBPJPY, as you have seen, this market also very in a very strong uptrend. Now if I look at GBPJPY from the daily, we can see that this is a very significant level of support here on GJ, and from that support, this is a support, has made a move and the price has broken that support, and again we saw a very strong uptrend. Now if we take our Fibonacci for this move, the price is approaching that 61.8% Fibonacci level. And if I look at lower time frame and higher time frame together to see how the price is reacting to that level, looking at the weekly chart, there is a weekly long wick candle. Now the most important part here, as we saw that previous week, there is a gap opening, a big bullish move with a long wick at the top, and as it is in an uptrending market, the bias is that GJ might go up and fill that long wick from the weekly. That could be a very strong momentum on GJ. Now if I look at the monthly chart, also we can see that from the monthly so far has made significant bullish candle. Now what I think that this month GBPJPY might try to retest before moving back to the upside. Now if I look at now going back to the intraday time frame, here is the most important part. As we can see, there was a big bounce here, and this is a complete breakout on GJ from this 4-hour structure, and later we saw the market has filled that imbalance. As it is now dropping down to fill that imbalance, it's still the price is not there on the halfway to filling that imbalance. That could give GJ another drop, and especially below this level, as you can see, it's an order block. There was quite a few narrow dojis. The market has made a significant move. We'll be waiting for GJ to break that low, which we could see if GBPJPY break this low. That could be an important level that we can look for potential entry. On the other hand, if we see that GJ has come back down, instead it changed its trend, in that case we need to see a complete reversal pattern here and a change of trend from this local downtrend to a global uptrend. In that case, we can look for any kind of entry along the way after price action confirmation. Now I believe that trader, you have enjoyed this weekly Forex forecast. In addition to that, any trade coming along the way, definitely I will be posting analysis on the channel. So make sure that you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. In addition to that, if you haven't joined yet our academy, today the coupon is ending. There is a $200 worth of coupon which will give you 70% off joining us in Forex Trading Wizard Academy. I have given you that coupon below this video in the description. You can use it to be part of trading community where you can learn and grow as a trader, and also you can access all the trading tools that we have. So with that said, thank you very much, and I'll see you soon trading live together. Until that, stay well, stay happy.